Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it is Monday, time for a Facebook Live. Let me see if I've got my camera going here. Looks like it. Okay. So I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We certainly did. And now, we'll have a good week too, I'm sure. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, yeah, there's a couple things. We have 2.5 more days left of bonus days. So if you want to get any shopping in and earn some bonus days coupons, you'll want to do that before midnight on Wednesday. And those $5 coupons will be redeemable in August. So it's always nice to save a little money here and there, isn't it? I know that the online exclusives have people kind of baffled because they have to go online to look for them. They're not in the catalog. And you either like that or you hate that. I'm not real sure. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try to, focus on some online exclusives, and that way you'll know what's available without necessarily seeing them in a catalog. Good afternoon, Rosalind. It's good to see you today. So this set is called Changing Leaves. It's also the set I'm using for my class to go in August. So if you like it a lot, you might want to consider doing a class to go with this particular set. What I like about this is it's very, very versatile. Leaves don't have to change in the fall. You can do green leaves, brown leaves, yellow leaves, red leaves, all kinds of colors. They don't necessarily have to be fall colors. And we're going to do blue leaves today, so I'm sure that works too. But it's just really a lovely set. It's got nice sentiments. You're amazing in every single way. Here for you. Thank you. A little note to brighten your day. I couldn't have done it without you. And then these 3 pretty leaves. It also has a die that will cut out the leaves. But more interestingly, it also has the embossing folder that will emboss the leaves and die cut them. So if you haven't tried one of these hybrid dies, they're not hard. You open it up, you make sure that the Stampin' Up logo is to your left. And then you can lay this die in here. Let's see if I can get it going right. Yeah, you're going to lay the die in here, and you will feel it click in place. And you'll kind of hear it. I don't know if you could hear that little click or not. Then you'll lay your DSP there, and you will run it through the machine, and you will have an embossed and die cut leaves, not flowers. So it's pretty cool. Now you can also just run it through your machine without the die cut, and you just get a really pretty piece of embossed paper. Or you can just run the die cut through your Big Shot and just have some solid kind of leaves. So let me show you some examples. This one is run through just the embossing folder. Look how pretty that embossing is. And then I just cut it out, layered it. I did die cut 2 leaves to give a little interest. And then this is a sympathy card. I love simple sympathy cards. I don't like lots of colors or shininess. It's got some glue there I've got to get off. So nice and simple. If you wanted to add a couple pearls, that would probably be okay. Let's see if we can get that glue off before I forget. This is a glue eraser. You can get these at some big box stores. There, it's slowly getting. There we go. After a while, when these get a lot of debris on them, just take an X-Acto knife and cut a little off, and you will have a fresh eraser that will erase your glue for you. So this one was just the embossing folder. This one was the embossing folder and die cut. And then I created this birthday card. And I did it in these monochromatic colors. I love this. It came out pretty, didn't it? I don't know if you can see, but of course I put some Wink of Stella on there. Now this vellum is actually a Christmas piece of vellum that's on the online exclusives. But since it doesn't have a pattern, it's just splattery, it can work for any holiday or any card. But now we're going to do one in a totally different colorway. I thought, oh, we could use some of that wood grain DSP and make a pretty card. And so that's what we're going to do today. So you can see how versatile this will be. So I've got a piece of boho blue. That's what we're going to start with. We're going to ink it up with Misty Moonlight. Now that's one I like to, those big stamps, I like to ink them upside down. They give me a little more, you can have a little more control. So we'll just stamp that. Isn't that pretty? I love the blue on blue. Now we're going to lay the die on here. We're only going to, you could do the whole thing if you wanted to and get some other blue leaves. But today I'm just doing the one I stamped. I can get that on there. Let's get some tape, because we'll want to make sure that doesn't move on us. And you know, I'm all about color, so even though I love the monochromatic look, I thought, well, let's get out some color and see what happens. So we'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. Oh, it's a tight squeeze. Now we've got this pretty, I think these are called leaf skeletons, aren't they? There we go. I just love the combination of that color there. Now we're going to do the same type of card here, this split front card. So this is cut at 2.5, and then this one is cut 2 more inches up, so that you have this nice piece of vellum in the center. Now our card base is going to be the Misty Moonlight. Let me see if that's cut right. You know, I tend to mix up my measurements a lot. Now here's our vellum sheet. It does kind of seem to have a front and a back. This is a little shinier and darker. And I cut it a tiny bit short, just so that I had some wiggle room of getting it on here, because it's going to be covered up by our DSP. So it'll be fine for it to have that little bit of wiggle room. Now vellum is not real fond of glue, so we're going to use tear and tape. Hi Karen, thanks for joining us today. And we'll put some here just to make sure it sticks down. Of course, we're going to put the DSP on top of that, so that'll help. And now this one will, that's our bottom piece. Let's do our top piece first. Hope we can line that up the way we want. I could have made it a teeny bit thinner, but I didn't. So we're just gonna hold our breath and hope we get this on here straight enough. If it's a little crooked, we'll just trim it with our scissors. I think we can bump that up there. Now this one, we'll make sure and glue it down towards the bottom. Tape it. Okay, let's see if we can line that up. And that looks pretty good. It looks like here I'm going to have to shave that off just a tiny bit with my scissors. And we'll do it kind of at an angle. Nobody will notice that we trimmed it. A little bit more. Shaky hands today. There we go. Now we've got our pretty low card. That's actually pretty like it is. Now we'll cover that up with our DSP. Let's see, where's it? And we'll use the tear and tape again. This on the back of that DSP is pretty. This is the Country Birdhouse DSP. I think it's called Country Woods. No. And it's got all pretty colors of wood grain DSP. I was concerned about the lining the boards up from the top to the bottom, but then I thought, no, I'm just not going to let that worry me, so we'll hope that looks okay. I can move our leaf out of the way. See what I mean? Then none of these actually line up so good, but it doesn't really, it's not going to bother me today. so hard, you know, it's 100 today, and here we are making cards for the fall or Christmas. It's so strange, isn't it? Let's see, we're gonna do you guys know this trick here? You just pull half of your tape off, and then that helps you get things lined up, and then you can pull the rest out. We'll just pull these two out, and it'll all be lined up. That little trick really works for lining things up on the side. Now we've got our pretty card, and then all we have to do is put our blue leaf on there. I wanted to make sure, though, that my piece did have some of this blue in it to bring that out. And so we'll put this on. Oh, that's a great idea to go ahead and emboss everything all at one time, Rosalind. Get all that cranking through the machine done. Now, if we feel like this needs some glue under it, we'll just run it a little bit there, and it'll hold that down enough. And Tombow usually does not show much through the vellum. I don't mind these leaves being a little bit loose, but I don't want them super loose. Now we've got that. I wanted to use, let's see, I'm not real sure what I want here. So on this card, I used some of the Distressed Gold DSP to add that little, that kind of looks like a totally different color, doesn't it? So let's see. Maybe we'd use this. No, that's not enough difference. Let's see what else we could pick. We want some contrast. So that's two. Oh, that's it right there. So we'll cut some of the little twigs with this one. Or we could do, we'll try. We'll decide which one looks best. Too many choices, isn't it? So we'll just layer these up and get that die out and cut them. See what happens. Now, last week I used this paper with orange, and I just thought it was such a good combination. So this would make a nice, do a little orange or rusty colored leaf with this at the top and the bottom. Now we'll see which one looks the best. Oh, we could use all three of them, couldn't we? That looks pretty. This paper is kind of thin, so it's a little tricky getting it to come apart. I like the contrast of the greeny colored one, but it doesn't bother me to use all three. Might be too much though. I think we'll just use two. Nope, I like it a little bit. What I'm gonna do is trim it so it's not so full at the bottom. Have to talk to myself here. There we go. Now we're gonna put this on with some glue dots. Where are some glue dots? Let's go use some paper pumpkin glue dots. It's time to clean up my table again because it's piled high and deep. Now we'll put this one kind of here, and we'll put the others around it. Yeah, I like that. Of course, we're going to put a linen bow. I think linen thread is probably the one thing I use the most. I almost always order some every time I put in an order because it makes such nice flat bows without making a bulky bow. Hi, Polly. How are you today? And Marge, my goodness, you made it on the live and not the replay. It's great. Probably it tails too long, but that cute. That looks so pretty. I love it. Now let's put that in a safe place. And let's work on a sentiment. So I just pulled a piece of Misty Moonlight to stamp a sentiment. And I pulled just Happy Birthday. So we'll stamp that with Misty Moonlight. I wonder if I should do it on Boho Blue. We'll see what it looks like. Might need to get Night of Navy for it to be dark enough. Yeah, I think I'll do it on boho, so let's trim a piece. Let's see if that, I think that'll look better. We'll be able to see it better. Now the trick will be to get it straight. That's pretty good. Yeah, you can read that much better. Oh, we can go ahead and do our sentiment. And that, we're going to use the piece of Very Vanilla. Now, we don't want it to peek through that vellum, so I picked one that will fit right behind here. Hope your day is a happy one. It looks kind of strange for right now, but I don't think once you get it in there, it's going to be fine. I wonder if we could stamp one of these, just a little bit of our leaf on there. You think we could? No, because, yeah, just right about there. That'll work. We'll just ink up part of it. Organizing and cleaning is something you just about have to do every day when you have a craft room. It's sad. I don't like that very much. Let's turn it over and not have a leaf there. Nobody will know. It sounded like a good idea, didn't it? I think because you couldn't get enough of the leaf and it would have peeked out, it didn't look as good as it could. Move this, obviously it's inky. Well, oh, if you were real concerned about stuff showing through, you could put this on the back of your card. But I don't think so. I think this works fine. Now we'll take our sentiment and trim it a little bit. The easy cut or a die cut would work. And we'll put that on with some dimensionals. I've used birthday cards the most, I think. And then sympathy, maybe. And that came out pretty. Now we've got the blue. We've got this greenish color. Now we're going to bring in this peachy color with these swirl dots. So they come in like a pecan pie. This must be peach pie, and then very vanilla and craft. I mean, yeah, or crumb cake, or that new basic, or the new color that I keep forgetting to use. That's so much so that I don't even remember the name of it. So we're going to use the peach colored. And that'll bring out some of that color. Never hurts to dress up your cards. We'll put that one right there. Now, how quick was that? A 30-minute card. Just amazing. And I think it's beautiful. I love all of these cards. So let's move our paper out so you can see how versatile this is. I'll be thinking about what other colors I can use to make a pretty card. And then here's our third one. Each one is different. Isn't it fun how you can change the vibe of a card by just changing the colors? I love it when, I think the rule is you should not buy a stamp set unless you can think of 3 different ways to use it. So even though these two are the same, they're same design, they're totally different in the way they're put together. I had this laying on my desk and I thought, I think we could do a nice pretty gold here and have a pretty card. So that might be what we do later on this afternoon. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you soon. Bye.